Have you guys ever had a really bad teacher experience? I want to know down in the comments, okay? But there are still wonderful teachers out there, and on that note, I think we should cheers today to the good teachers who are raising the children of our generation and doing a good job. So cheers to that. Drink your water, it's important, but I will take any cheers, okay? I hope you're having a great day. Cheers. Mine's cold water. I put a lot of ice in here today. You can probably hear it. The first time I ever wore shorts above my knees, my Spanish teacher said I was disgusting for wearing shorts to school and slapped both of my thighs. Ugh. First of all, don't touch me. Second of all, to you too. Ugh. There's so much wrong with this. The disgusting part, number one, okay, lawsuit, you should be fired. And then touching me and on the thigh, oh, go and be petty and cause a lawsuit. Oh, apparently my neighbor agrees too. Slamming their doors. My teacher in 3rd grade had the class make clay animals for Christmas presents for our parents as an art lesson. It was such a small amount of clay, and she specifically said it was for both of our parents. Well, I happened to be the only student who had divorced parents in the class. I asked her what I should do because they didn't live together and couldn't share the gift, and she literally said, well, you'll just have to pick your favorite parent then. She did other horrid things, but this was just the first time I went home crying. That's awful. I can't believe a teacher would ever assume that every student's parents are still together. Have you Googled divorce rates? And they've been high for quite some time now. You know, like, what a bold assumption. My parents are divorced. This would have devastated me. That honestly would be so sad as a kid because you wouldn't understand why it's like, well, why wouldn't you think that some of us have divorced parents and different houses? My high school band director had severe anger issues and was easily set off. He once threw a loudspeaker at us during marching band practice and would yell at us after a competition if he didn't think we performed well. Sounds like Mans takes his job a little too seriously. I can assure you, the high school band is not that serious. I'm not discrediting their talent or their skills or their hard work, but sir, big picture, it's not that serious. My 3rd grade teacher got frustrated with a kid's stutter and started pounding the kid's desk with a closed fist while mocking his stutter. Yeah, some people just should not be teachers. That's a fact. It's a literal fact. There are people out there who should not be teachers. I'm one of them. Don't allow me to teach anybody. I don't have patience for it. Are you kidding me? This sass, this mouth, my facial expression, do you think I'm not gonna roll my eyes at a kid who's talking back at me? Oh, cry me. Some people shouldn't be teachers. It's a tough job. I don't blame them. It's a tough job, but that? No one should do that to anybody who has a stutter, let alone a teacher. I'm just gonna get angry by the end of this video. In high school gym class, we were doing some kind of push-up test. My teacher decided he was going to watch me the whole time and not lay an eye on anyone else. I did a couple of push-ups and he told me my form was wrong. He repeated this over and over again until I completed at least 30 wrong push-ups. At that point, I was too exhausted to even do a single correct one, so he failed me again. Not that serious. You know, I feel like some teachers just take their job and their power a little too seriously, and it's honestly annoying. I remember having a few teachers like that in high school, and it's like, I can't wait till I'm an adult and I look back and I understand how unimportant high school really is. Like, this moment is not going to teach them whatever you think it's going to teach them. If anything, they're just left with this story about how awful you were and how annoying that was for them. Like, you really think you're doing something for them there, and you're not. You're not doing anything positive for that person in that moment. I had a teacher who was standing up while talking to our class. Everyone was quiet and either listening or at least wasn't actively disrupting things. He stopped mid-sentence, threw his coffee mug against the chalkboard, angrily said, "F it. Learn it yourselves," and stormed out. everyone just looked around and was like, who was talking? Was it you? No. None of us could figure out what the heck set him off, and we could see him outside the room, pacing back and forth, muttering something. 5 minutes later, he came back into the class and started talking, acting like nothing happened. Yeah, man's just needed a quick 5, it sounds like. This is what I mean by not everyone is cut out to be a teacher, because I understand the patience it takes, okay? We all know, if you're on this channel, that I used to work with children. Oh, can you believe that? I was an early childhood educator, a daycare teacher for many years in all ages. And you know what? I killed it at the time. But I was young and I probably had a little more patience. But it's a tough job being a teacher. So you can't do this. And that's hard because I don't got patience for people in general, okay? So he needed a quick 5, calmed himself down and was like, okay, what I did was wrong and I need to go back in there and just pretend it never happened. My teacher stole stuff out of her students' desks and blamed the other kids in the class. Do you have proof? What kind of proof do we got of this? Like, did you see the teacher do it? Did you how did you find out? I need more. There's not enough detail here. How did you find out? Did the teacher get in trouble? Were there cameras in the classroom and she was caught stealing? What was she stealing? What did she need from the student's desk that was worth stealing? I have a lot of questions. I'll never get the answer. I'll probably think about these when I try to sleep tonight. During my 6th grade history class, my teacher had us read out loud from our textbooks. I hated when they did that. Oh my God. And they would go around in order of how you were sitting, and I would skip paragraphs ahead to practice in my head what I had to read out loud to the class. We all did that, right? I hated it. The pressure. While I was reading, she yelled at me in front of the whole class to stop what I was doing. I just stared at my book like the rest of the class, and she continued to yell, stop. After I asked her, what am I doing? She said, I don't know, but you need to stop. She gave me detention during lunch/recess, and I sat in the hallway where she checked on me every couple of minutes. Towards the end of lunch and recess, she said that I, in fact, did nothing in my class, and she took her anger out on me. But she wanted to make an example of me and felt embarrassed in front of the other students for scolding me over doing nothing. Then she made me promise not to tell anyone. I am bewildered by her behavior to this day. I think you should have told somebody. Not that they're ever gonna do anything about it, apparently, but that's not okay. You gotta swallow your pride. If you messed up as a teacher, that's what the learning lesson should be. It should say, okay guys, here's a learning lesson. I took my anger out on this person. They actually did absolutely nothing wrong. I apologize and let's learn from this, shall we? I remember sitting in the hall once for detention. I had to leave the class and sit in the hall because I kept talking in class. And then, vivid memory, I was in high school. She came out at the end of class to near the end to come let me back in class, and my friend had been walking by in the hallway, so I was talking in the hallway during my detention. I was just sitting on the floor talking to my friend who happened to be walking by, and she came out and she's like, are you kidding me? I just can't shut my mouth. In high school, a teacher once told a classmate that she looked like a sloot because she was wearing a skirt that was just barely shorter than her fingertips when her arms were at her side. This teacher did not only get into any kind of trouble for insulting my classmate, even after her parents complained to the student district about it. Wow, that shocks me. I'm pretty sure Who's calling me right now? Oh. Miley Cyrus, copyright claim. It's an 877 number. Scammers, not today. Not today. You're not gonna get me. Oh, shit. I'll never forget. Oh my God, I wish I knew exactly what the teacher said, but one of our guidance counselors made a very similar remark to the light just flickered, to my current best friend and high school best friend, about her score, because we had school uniforms and we had little kilts and hers was short because we all rolled them. And she made such an inappropriate comment about it. I don't know if she called her a whore, but it was a comment like that, and it was so bad, and never got in trouble. Never got in trouble for it. I had a teacher who gave me failing grades but never returned my assignments. We'd take a test, and then the following day she'd read our scores out loud in front of the class. Oh, that shouldn't be allowed. Molly, 98%. Nick, 90%. My name, 27%. I was so frustrated because I was studying my butt off and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. After fighting with the teacher and eventually having to involve the school board, it came out that the teacher didn't even look at the tests. She randomly gave scores based on how smart she thought the students were and how much she liked them. Well, isn't that just great? Isn't that just great? Like, I'd be so pissed for writing those papers knowing my teacher assigned that and didn't even take the time to like actually grade it. What a waste of my freaking time then. Anyways, let me know your teacher horror stories. Anytime I got in trouble, like 98% of the time, it was valid. I was talking back, I was talking, things like that. So I'm getting out of here though, you guys. Stay classy up there, stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow.